Everybody, it's Funny King Game here. Today we're at the Civil Rights Museum. Hey, hi to Brazy Boy.
Wait.
Daily Rose.
Hey, what's up?
Donald W. Right.
Go subscribe.
That's how the old TV used to look.
Mac playing
They made it. No. I was just joking.
All in one place, and
Yeah, you're learning something from the video. Hit that hate button. Okay, I'm in like.
The crackers. The crackers. Wow. Crackers.
they can just drop them off in there. So you want to just get the teacher to know to grab all those.
They're Rosa Parks.
Brandon, here.
Segregation.
Dang, where you trying to go?
No, I'm doing a YouTube video. George C. Wallace. Lester Maddox. Sam Edward. Jim Clark. Thurmar Mond. I don't know. The Bull. Overall. Wow. The Arkansas governor. James Eastland. And they got quotes on them.
You need to put down video. It's changing.
I know.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Move. So we're gonna go to Alabama, guys. This is my hometown. I didn't click anything.
It's on Alabama.
Colored waiting room. Wow.
This is Louisiana.
Education. Separated schools shall not be detained from the children of the white and colored races. Transportation. Every railroad carrying passengers shall provide equal but separated accommodations for the white and colored races.
I'm all about that.
Move.
Oh shoot, North Carolina.
So right now we got Florida, Georgia, South Carolina.
Hold up, click Georgia.
Over here we got Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. So we're gonna go to Mississippi. Wow. You at least had to be 18 years old to be maintained. This is what Louisiana used to look like, guys. I'm not gonna read all that, but we just came back to this. Alright, guys. Right here.
Tamara stepped on it. No, you stepped on it.
No.
Line.
Alright, guys. I'm doing a YouTube video. Hey, guys. The temple bombing.
Whoa, someone will go in this video.
On October 12, 1958, the oldest Sanadiu, the Hebrew Ben-Violent congregation known as the temple, was rocked by 50 sticks of dynamite. Wow, 50 sticks, guys. 50 sticks. 50 sticks. You got 50 sticks right here, bro.
Yeah, 50
Alright,
sticks, guys.
56. Alright, so the congregation was likely targeted but because of the outspoken support of the racial justice by Rabbi Jacob Rothschild. Read the rest.
Where'd you stop it?
I stopped right here. So you're gonna go after.
I think the 1955 shootout. Oh my god, 1957 shootout at Little Rock Central High School. What's this?
Rothschild.
Rothschild. Okay, Ministries, Manifesto, signed the 87 Atlanta religious leaders. The document called for international communication, mutual respect, and goodwill the obedient to the law during the city debate over school segregation.
Clap, clap.
That's pretty much good. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's
We're not gonna read all of it because we need to get to all of this.
Okay,
guys.
go ahead. Go ahead. Show your
All right,
page.
so this gonna be
Yeah, we're doing a YouTube video.
my babe. All right, so we got.
By the way, ooh, this. Which was the first thing?
So these are all the freedom riders who, rode on the freedom bus.
1960, fourth president at North Carolina A&T University. They Greensboro, North Carolina, sat down at a whites-only lunch counter. What? I'm trying to read.
You're in the middle. You're too tall.
It's a short. arrested.
400 people got arrested then on a freedom ride.
That's it.
Why you look at me like that? Oh, this overtime.
I think it's gonna restart. I think it's gonna restart.
Alright guys, you might not be able to see me, but this is about to be the beginning of the freedom rides.
I'm trying to move, goddamn!
A group of men and women, 7 black and 6 white, organized by CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, boarded 2 buses in Washington, D.C. They called themselves Freedom Riders. Bound for New Orleans, they intended to exercise their constitutional right of equal access to waiting rooms and lunch counters at bus depots throughout the South. Schooled in nonviolent tactics, they faced the uncertainties of their journey with optimism.
There is a possibility that we will not be served at some stop.
She was a freedom rider.
There is a possibility that we might be arrested. This is the only trouble that I anticipate.
An incident at Rock Hill, South Carolina provided a frightening preview of what was to come. 3 of the riders were attacked and beaten as they tried to enter a whites-only waiting room. Sunday, Mother's Day, further violence exploded just outside of Anniston, Alabama.
At Anniston, we were surrounded by a mob who followed us out of Anniston for about 4 miles until one of our tires went fried. At that point, they started breaking into the windows of the bus with chains and pipes and one thing and another. They finally threw a bomb into the bus.
And there was immediate flash fire on the bus. And I tried to open the door. Only thing I could hear is, let's burn them niggas. Let's burn them niggas alive. At that moment, fuel tank exploded. And they ran, and that was the only way we could get that door open. A man came up to me, and I'm coughing and strangling. He said, "Boy, you all right?" And I nodded my head, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground. He had hit me with part of a baseball bat. And this is when I see the highway patrolman. He pulls his gun, and he fired in the air. He says, "Okay, you've had your fun. Let's move back." And that's what stopped it.
Unaware of this attack, the second bus continued on to Birmingham.
Last night, a man phoned me, said he was close to the leaders of the Ku Klux Klan. He said he wanted to give me a tip. Be sure and be at the bus terminal on Sunday, he said, because you're going to see action.
James Peck and I, we were scheduled to test the facilities. So he looked at me and I looked at him, and we proceeded to go into the terminal.
They took them into corridors and alleys and began beating them, began hitting them with lead pipes and with key rings and with their fists. They knocked one man, a white man, down at my feet, and they beat him and kicked him until his face was a bloody red pulp. The police did not arrive at this this scene until 10 minutes late, when these men had, as if on signal, dispersed and had gone further down the street, where I saw some of them discussing their achievement of the day right under the windows of the police commissioner's office.
Now, I hope that these agitators outside of this state who are seeking to come here will stay at home and mind their own business.
If men like Governor Patterson and Governor Other students were hurt, and in trying to rescue a white girl member of the group, an aide to Attorney General Robert Kennedy, John Siegenthaler, was knocked out.
The next day, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, and James Farmer, the National Director of CORE, arrived in Montgomery for an evening service honoring the Freedom Riders. Gathered in the First Baptist Church, over 1,500 supporters were soon surrounded by a mob of 3,000 who bombarded the building with rocks and bottles and burned cars. Reverend King was on the telephone with Robert Kennedy, entreating him to take action to protect those in the church. Kennedy was simultaneously urging Governor Patterson to disperse the mob.
In this situation, I want to make this announcement that the city is now under martial law and troops are on the way into Montgomery.
The violence was quelled, and under pressure from Washington, the governors of Alabama and Mississippi both agreed to have state police and the National Guard protect the Freedom Riders. On Wednesday morning, May 24th, state police and National Guardsmen escorted a dozen Freedom Riders from Montgomery to Jackson, Mississippi. Upon arriving in Jackson, the riders attempted to use the white-only facilities and were immediately arrested. Many were sent to Mississippi's infamous Parchman Penitentiary. Refusing bail, the movement called for more volunteers to come to Jackson to be arrested. Over the next 4 months, Freedom Riders came to Jackson by bus, plane, and train. By the end of the summer of 1961, over 430 Freedom Riders from all over the United States had been arrested.
No matter what happens, we're dedicated to this. We'll take hitting, we'll take beating. We're willing to accept death. But we're going to keep coming until we can ride from anywhere in the South, anyplace else in the South.
This was when Martin Luther King wrote his speech in the cell. Look at me, bro. That way.
You still recording? I'm gonna have a lot of copyright strikes though.
Some of y'all can sit and listen.
Do you know this video will be messed up? Now if you do that, it will be like sideways and stuff. Christian!
So this is where the where the march was.
This is the bus.
This is where 3-in-1 zone, where the bus part. This is where 4 zone was. This is where 2 zone was. The assembly started here. They started walking in from here. So Independence Avenue and Constitution, and that was a Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, Constitution. I've been in there, guys.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spirit, though. Free at last, thanks
April. So this happened at the March of Washington. This happened at the March of Washington, guys. This is actually kind of sad. I'm glad I wasn't here.
I'm saying, right?
Bro, do y'all see this?
No, put it down. It's off now.
What is it?
If I make it to the NBA, bro, I'm doing it.
Alright, guys. So here we go. Press the pause button. Not the square, but the other one. Alright, so y'all must have
They
heard.
was even trolling in the 1960s. Come on now.
Alright, so y'all might have heard of the 4 little girls that got bombed in the church. So their names was Cynthia, Harold, Denise, and Andy May.
Sad, bro.
That's sad, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of learning in this.
Really sad.
Look at that.
Andy May?
Addie May.
Oh, it's Addie May. That's what Josiah said. Hi, Josiah.
I'm not dumb.
I never said that you were dumb. I'll get spit. That's my bae right there, bro. Shut up. Oh, no, I said KKK. Never mind, I'm done.
Dum, dum, dum. I
said KKK.
Press it. Circle.
Who's the project director, Jamie, a local staff member, and
Look at that. Come over here, sit down and read that.
for rural counties to see that church that was burned down a few days ago. They said they'd be back by 4 and it's coming in 10. The Newark paper
Make sure I have my group.
with these 3 guys who disappeared.
Where's Samara? Where is
I ate dinner
Samara?
with the wife of one of them. She was telling me about all the great things she and her husband were working
And as we sang, we all must have thought of our 3 who already died this summer in Mississippi.
So I guess one survived, One survived. One probably survived.